Welcome to this video tutorial, where we'll explore how to fill a list box in WinForms using VB.NET with a JSON list. If you're working on a project that involves retrieving data from an API or a web service and displaying it in a user-friendly format, then this video is for you. In today's digital age, handling data has become an essential skill for any developer, and being able to parse and display JSON data is a crucial part of that. In this video, we'll walk through the steps involved in taking a JSON list and using it to populate a list box in a WinForms application built with VB.NET. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a solid understanding of how to work with JSON data in your own projects and be able to apply these principles to a wide range of scenarios. So, let's dive right into it. To start filling a list box with a JSON list, we first need to understand what JSON is. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, but don't worry if you're not familiar with JavaScript. The concepts apply across programming languages. Essentially, JSON is a way of formatting data so that it's easy for humans and computers to read. Imagine you have a list of names and ages that you want to display in your application. In JSON format, this might look something like this: a collection of key-value pairs where each key represents a field, like name or age, and the value is the actual data for that field. The first step is to get this JSON data into your VB.NET project. This could involve calling an API, reading from a file, or even just hard-coding it in for testing purposes. Once you have the JSON string, you'll need to deserialize it into something that .NET can understand, typically a collection of objects. VB.NET provides classes and methods within the system: web, script, serialization, namespace that make this process relatively straightforward. You create an instance of the JavaScript serializer class and use its deserialize method to convert your JSON string into a .NET object. However, since we're dealing with a list box, we'll need to work with data types that are compatible with what a list box can display. Typically, you'll want to bind your list box to a collection of objects where each object represents an item in a list, and then specify which property of those objects should be displayed. This is where the magic happens, by setting the data source property of your list box to this collection of objects. .NET does the hard work for you, automatically populating the list box with the data from your JSON list. You can further customize this process by specifying a display member and value member if needed, depending on how complex your data is. So, what are the key points to take away from this tutorial? Firstly, remember that working with JSON involves formatting data in a way that's easy for humans and computers to read. To fill a list box with JSON data, you need to deserialize this JSON into .NET objects using tools like the JavaScript serializer. After deserialization, bind your list box to a collection of these objects by setting its data source property, specifying any display member or value member as needed based on your data's complexity. And that's it. With these steps, you should be able to take any JSON list and use it to populate a list box in a WinForms application built with VB.NET. That concludes our tutorial on filling a list box in WinForms using VB.NET with a JSON list. I hope this video has provided you with the knowledge and confidence to handle JSON data in your own project. If you have any questions or need further clarification on any of the steps, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. If you found this tutorial helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing for more content related to programming and software development. Your support helps us create more videos like this one. Until next time, happy coding!